The chapel doors exploded inward with a thunderous crack, splintering the sacred hush like a gunshot in a confessional. "Travis, don't do it. God, please, I love you." Alex's voice shattered the vows, raw and ragged, slicing through the organ swell as every eye snapped to him. Tuxedo jacket half unzipped, chest heaving like he'd sprinted from hell itself. In that frozen heartbeat, the groom, Travis Hale, golden boy of Elmwood, Kansas, locked eyes with his best friend since sandbox days, and the world tilted, unearthing a grave of secrets buried deeper than the prairie roots outside. Alex stumbled forward down the aisle, rose petals crunching under his polished loafers like brittle bones, the scent of lilies choking him as fiercely as the lie he'd lived for 28 years. The bride, Emily, clutched her bouquet of white peonies, her veil trembling like a ghost in the draft he'd unleashed. Whispers erupted from the pews, old money farmers in starched collars, Travis's sorority sisters from KU, Emily's debutante aunts fanning themselves with programs that now read like indictments. But Alex saw only Travis. Tall, broad-shouldered, with that easy Midwestern smile cracking at the edges, his hazel eyes wide as the Kansas sky before a twister. "Alex, what the hell?" Travis's voice was a low rumble, the kind that used to steady Alex through high school heartbreak and college keggers. But now it carried an edge, sharp as the pocketknife they'd sworn blood brothers with at 15. He stepped off the altar dais, abandoning Emily mid-vow, his cummerbund askew like a noose half-tied. The officiant, a silver-haired pastor with a Bible clutched like a shield, cleared his throat into the microphone, but the feedback squeal drowned him out. "I couldn't let you," Alex gasped, dropping to one knee not in proposal but exhaustion. His hands splayed on the cool hardwood floor, sweat beaded his forehead, mixing with the faint salt of tears he hadn't realized were falling. "Not like this, not to her. Travis, we've been dancing around it since we were kids. Late nights in your truck. That summer at the lake when you held me after Dad's funeral. It's me. It's always been me." The congregation gasped in unison, a collective inhale that sucked the air from the room. Emily's hand flew to her mouth, her diamond ring glinting like an accusation. Travis's mother, Lorraine Hale, rose halfway from her front row seat, her pearls clacking like judgment, her face a mask of small-town propriety fracturing under the weight of scandal. "Alexander Reed, you sit yourself down right now," she hissed, voice carrying like a sheriff's warning. But her eyes, those sharp blue eyes that mirrored her son's, flickered with something else. Recognition or dread? Travis hauled Alex up by the elbow, his grip ironclad, the same hands that had patched Alex's bike tires and shared stolen beers under the harvest moon. They retreated to the vestibule, the heavy oak door swinging shut behind them with a finality that echoed like a gavel. Outside, the November wind whipped across the flatlands, rattling the chapel's shutters. But inside, the air was thicker, charged with the ozone of unspoken truths. "What are you doing, man?" Travis whispered fiercely, backing Alex against the stone wall, his breath hot and bourbon-scented from the groom's nerves earlier. Up close, Alex could see the faint stubble shadowing Travis's jaw, the way his tie hung loose like a surrender flag. "This is my wedding. Emily's my future. You barge in here like some rom-com idiot and what? Watch you throw it all away on a picket fence and 2.4 kids." Alex shot back, his voice cracking, the words he'd rehearsed in his shitty Wichita apartment 100 times now tumbling out jagged. He'd driven 3 hours flat out on I-35, heart slamming like a V8 engine, the radio blasting Springsteen to drown the what-ifs. "You think I don't see it? The way you look at me when we're alone. Like I'm the only damn thing keeping you from floating away. That night in Lawrence, after the game, your hand on my thigh in the car. The kiss you pretended was the whiskey talking. Travis, you're not straight. You're not hers. You're mine." Travis recoiled as if slapped, his face paling under the vestibule's harsh fluorescence. "Jesus, Alex, that was one night. We were wasted, grieving your old man. It doesn't make me—" He cut off, raking a hand through his wheat-blonde hair, the gesture so familiar it twisted the knife deeper. They'd been inseparable since Elmwood Elementary, Two farm boys trading comic books and dreams of escaping the Dust Bowl monotony. Travis, the quarterback hero. Alex, the artsy sidekick sketching murals in the margins of their textbooks. College at Kansas University had pulled them tighter. Road trips to Royals games, crashing on each other's dorm floors after finals. But after graduation, life had forked. Travis back to Elmwood, courting Emily at the county fair like his daddy's script demanded. Alex to Wichita, chasing graphic design gigs and burying his ache in dive bar hookups that never measured up. The door creaked open, and Emily slipped in, her gown whispering like a secret betrayed. "Travis? What's happening?" Her voice was soft, laced with that southern lilt from her Georgia roots, but her eyes, dark and searching, pinned Alex like a specimen under glass. She'd always been kind to him, inviting him to barbecues, teasing him about his eternal bachelorhood. Now, that kindness curdled into confusion, her manicured fingers twisting the veil's lace. Travis turned, his shoulders slumping. Give me a minute." But she didn't budge, stepping closer, her gaze flicking between them like she was piecing together a puzzle she'd suspected all along. Outside, the reception tent fluttered in the wind, fairy lights twinkling prematurely against the graying sky. A perfect Americana setup, cornfields framing the horizon, the distant hum of a John Deere promising normalcy. But normalcy was a lie Alex knew. His own family had crumbled under it 4 years ago. Dad's sudden heart attack in the North Field, Mom's slow unraveling into pills and prayer meetings. Travis had been his anchor then, driving through the night with greasy burgers and bad jokes, holding him as sobs racked his frame. That was when the lines blurred, comfort turning to something electric, forbidden. "I need air," Travis muttered, shoving past Emily toward a side exit. Alex followed, the cold slapping his face like reality's rebuke. They ended up by the old oak behind the chapel, the one they'd carved their initials into at 16. Tage plus AR forever. Travis leaned against it, lighting a cigarette with shaking hands, the habit he'd kicked for Emily, now resurrected like a ghost. "Talk to me?" Alex pleaded, snatching the pack away. "Don't marry her because it's easy, because your mom wants grandkids or the bank wants a power couple for the farm loan. We deserve. Deserve what? To torch everything?" Travis exhaled smoke in a dragon's breath, his eyes stormy. "Elmwood doesn't do this, Alex. Gay guys? We're the punchline at the VFW bar. My dad, hell, he barely tolerated the artsy shit you pulled. If he were alive." He trailed off, flicking ash into the wind, the mention of Harlan Hale hanging heavy. The old man had been a pillar. Korean War vet, corn king, church deacon. Died of cancer 2 years back, leaving Travis the farm and a legacy of stoic silence. Alex's throat tightened. He'd idolized Harlan, tagging along on tractor rides, absorbing lessons in grit and grace. But there'd been whispers even then, Harlan's late nights at the VFW, his old army buddy, letters tucked in a drawer Alex once glimpsed. "Your dad loved me like a son. He'd want you happy." Travis laughed, bitter and broken. "Happy? You think crashing my wedding makes me happy?" He crushed the cigarette under his heel, stepping closer, their breaths mingling in the chill. For a heartbeat, Alex thought he'd swing, fist or lips he couldn't tell. Instead, Travis gripped his shoulders, searching his face. "Why now? After all this time?" "Because I can't breathe without you," Alex whispered, the confession stripping him bare. Their foreheads touched, the world narrowing to the rustle of oak leaves and the thunder of his pulse. Then, a twig snapped. Emily, silhouetted in the chapel glow, watching. She didn't cry, didn't scream, just turned and walked back inside, the door latching with a soft click that echoed louder than any slam. The reception lurched forward like a drunk at last call. Catered brisket and potato salad going cold under chafing dishes, the band striking up Sweet Caroline to mask the awkward shuffles. Guests milled, casting sidelong glances at the empty groom's spot. Lorraine Hale playing hostess with gritted teeth, her smile a rictus of Midwestern steel. Travis reappeared 20 minutes later, tie straightened, announcing a family emergency postponement. Emily nodded mutely beside him, her makeup flawless, but her eyes hollow as the Kansas Badlands. Alex lingered in the shadows of the parking lot, engine idling in his beat-up Ford pickup, the dashboard clock mocking him at 4:17 p.m. He'd ruined everything. His best friend's life, the fragile piece of their shared history. But as Travis emerged, clapping shoulders with well-wishers, their eyes met across the gravel. A nod, almost imperceptible. Meet me later. The Hale farmhouse glowed like a beacon on the hill, white-clabbered and wraparound porch straight out of a Norman Rockwell fever dream. Alex parked in the back 40, away from prying headlights, the November frost crunching underfoot as he approached the barn. Travis was there, silhouetted against the hayloft, a lantern casting long shadows on rusted tools and saddles long and used. "You came," Travis said, voice rough as baling wire. "Wouldn't miss the apocalypse I started." Alex leaned against a post, arms crossed to hide the tremor. The air smelled of earth and oats, a scent that yanked him back to boyhood forts and whispered secrets. Travis paced, boots scuffing the dirt floor. "Emily's packing. Says she needs space. Mom's livid, calling it a phase or some bullshit." He stopped, facing Alex, the lantern light hollowing his cheeks. "And you, that speech. You meant it. Every word." Alex stepped forward, heart a war drum. "I've loved you since we were 14, stealing sips of your dad's whiskey behind the bleachers. I buried it because I had to, for you, for us. But seeing you up there, saying I do to a lie, I snapped." Travis closed the distance, his hand cupping Alex's jaw, thumb tracing the stubble there. "I kissed you that night in Lawrence because I wanted to, because you're the only one who's ever seen me. All of me." His voice dropped, husky with years of restraint. Their lips met then, tentative at first, then fierce. A dam breaking after a decade of pressure. Hands roamed, shedding jackets, shirts, the barn's chill forgotten in the heat of rediscovery. Travis tasted like home. Salt and smoke and unspoken promises. They collapsed onto a blanket of straw, bodies entwining in a rhythm as old as the land itself. Travis's whispers, "I've missed this, God, I've missed you," wove through gasps and sighs, each touch a reclamation. For those stolen hours, the world outside ceased. No judgmental ants, no crumbling legacies, just two men forging something real from the ruins. Dawn crept in gray and unforgiving, finding them tangled and spent, Travis's head on Alex's chest. "What now?" he murmured, fingers tracing lazy circles on sweat-damp skin. "We fight for it," Alex replied, kissing his temple. "Together." But as the rooster crowed, a truck rumbled up the drive. Lorraine's, early for coffee and confrontation. The idol shattered, and with it, the first thread of the unraveling. A yellowed envelope slipping from Travis's discarded wallet, addressed in faded ink to Harlan Hale from A. Forever. The envelope burned in Alex's palm like contraband, its edges brittle as autumn leaves, the handwriting looping elegant and unfamiliar. Travis snatched it back, stuffing it into his jeans with a curse, his post-dawn vulnerability hardening into armor. "It's nothing. Old junk from Dad's stuff." "Bullshit?" Alex pressed, sitting up, straw prickling his bare back. The barn loft filtered weak sunlight through slats, painting Travis's torso in stripes of gold and shadow, a living chiaroscuro of regret and resolve. "That stamp's from '89. Who's A? Forever? Your old man's pen pal." Travis's jaw clenched, that telltale muscle ticking like a metronome of evasion. "Drop it, Alex. We've got bigger fires to put out." He pulled on his flannel, buttons fumbling in the chill, avoiding eyes that had just mapped every inch of him hours before. The intimacy of night felt profane in morning's glare, exposed as a crime scene. Downstairs, Lorraine's Ford F-150 idled, exhaust puffing like accusatory smoke. She burst through the barn door without knocking. 50s dynamo in curlers and housecoat, coffee thermos in one hand, the other balled into a fist. "Travis Matthew Hale, you get your ass down here. And you." Her gaze skewered Alex, who scrambled for his shirt, heat flooding his face. Alexander Reed, I oughta horsewhip you for last night, ruining my boy's big day like some Jezebel in a bad soap opera. Mom! Travis descended the ladder, boots thudding like punctuation. Don't mom me. She thrust the thermos at him, steam curling like wrath. Emily's mama called at 5 a.m., hysterical. The whole county's buzzing. Hale boy jilts bride for his fairy sidekick. You think this is Chicago? This is Elmwood. We got reputations, land to pass down clean. Alex followed, zipping his fly with as much dignity as a walk of shame intruder could muster. Mrs. Hale, I never meant. Save it. She wheeled on him, close enough for him to smell the ivory soap and percolated rage. I watched you two grow up, Alex. Knew you had tendencies. But Travis? My straight arrow son? This phase ends today, or so help me. I'll disown the both of you. The word disown landed like a slap, echoing Alex's own ghosts. His mother's final rasp in the hospice bed. Be normal, son, or be alone. He'd nodded then, swallowing his truth like bitter pills. Now it rose acid in his throat. Travis set the thermos down with deliberate calm, the quarterback poise kicking in. It's not a phase, Ma. Alex and me. It's real. Been real a while. Lorraine's face crumpled. Not in fury but something rawer, grief perhaps, for the son she'd scripted in her mind. Your father would roll in his grave. She stormed out, gravel spraying as she peeled away, leaving silence thicker than the dust motes dancing in her wake. Travis sank onto a hay bale, head in hands. She's right about one thing, that he'd hate this. Would he? Alex knelt before him, prying gentle fingers from his face. Harlan loved hard. Remember how he'd sneak us extra pie after church? Or drive us to that Metallica concert in Topeka, pretending it was educational? He held up the envelope, pilfered in the scuffle. This, Tell me. Travis snatched it again, but his resistance cracked, shoulders slumping. Fine, but swear you won't judge. He slit the seal with a thumbnail, unfolding a single sheet yellowed by time, ink faded but legible. A love letter, penned in elegant cursive. My dearest Harlan, the nights without you stretch like Nebraska winters. Remember our foxhole in Pusan? Your laugh cutting the shelling, your hand in mine under the stars. I carry that fire still, though oceans and oaths divide us. Right soon, my anchor. Forever yours, Arthur. Alex's breath hitched, the name igniting a spark in his memory. Arthur, Harlan's war buddy, from those dog-eared photo albums. The one with the mischievous grin and pilot wings pinned to his uniform. Your dad and Arthur? They were gay, Travis finished, voice hollow. Lovers. Fought side by side in Korea. Fell hard. Dad came home, married Mom to fit the mold, buried it all. Arthur stayed in San Francisco, lived open but alone. They wrote letters till Dad's chemo fogged his mind. Found this box after the funeral, hundreds of them. The revelation settled like prairie dust, heavy and inescapable. Harlan Hale, the unyielding patriarch, had lived a double life. Deacon by day, heartbroken romantic by night. Why hide it? Alex murmured, tracing the postmark. Fear. Travis crumpled the letter, eyes glistening. Same as us. He built this farm, this family on lies. Died whispering Arthur's name. Mom swears. If word got out. He trailed off, the implications sprawling like barbed wire. Whispers at the co-op, loans called in. The Hale name dragged through mud. Alex pulled him close, their foreheads touching again, breaths sinking in the quiet. Then we honor him. Live the truth he couldn't. But truth was a luxury Elmwood rationed sparingly. By noon, the fallout cascaded. Emily's tearful voicemail. I knew something was off, but this? Call me when you're fixed. Deleted with a thumb swipe. Travis's cousin Buck, the family hothead, showed up with a shotgun for varmint. His glare promising more. Heard you went queer, Trav. Dad'd spit on ya. Travis met him at the porch, unyielding. Love who I love, Buck. Doors that way if you can't handle it. Buck left muttering, but the seed was sown. Rumors festering like weeds in the back 40. That evening, they drove to the old swimming hole, the one off Route 56 where cottonwoods dipped branches into lazy current. Travis's truck bumped over ruts. Radio low on Willie Nelson crooning about blue eyes crying in the rain. They stripped to boxers, cannonballing in with whoops that echoed boyhood. The cold shock stealing breath but thawing souls. Floating side by side, stars pricking the twilight, Travis opened up. Halting confessions of stolen glances in locker rooms, crushes on teammates masked as bromance. The ache of dating Emily while dreaming of Alex's laugh. Thought I could will it away. For the farm. For Dad's ghost. Alex splashed him gently, water droplets beating on lashes. Ghosts don't own us. We're writing our own story now. They made love on the bank, slow and reverent. The river's murmur their only witness. Travis's body moved with a grace Alex had sketched in secret notebooks. Strong lines, tender curves, each sigh a verse in their unfinished poem. Afterward, wrapped in a threadbare quilt from the truck bed, they talked futures. Wichita for Alex's design firm, maybe a loft overlooking the Arkansas River. Travis selling off marginal acres to fund a sustainable co-op, shedding the old man's yoke. But dawn brought Arthur's shadow lengthening. Travis unearthed the letters from a lockbox in the attic, the farmhouse creaking like a confessor under their weight. Dozens, then hundreds. Harlan's replies tucked in, fervent and furtive, maps of a love mapped in margins. Arthur, my wild blue yonder, your words are oxygen. Mama's expecting again, boy or girl, but never you. Burn this if they come calling. One photo slipped free. 2 young soldiers, arms slung casual, grins defiant. Harlan's buzz cut fresh. Arthur's aviators perched on a nose like a fighter jet's prow. He was beautiful, Travis said, voice thick. Went back after the war, opened a garage in Frisco. Never married. Still alive? Alex asked, pulse quickening. Travis shrugged. Dunno. Letters stop in '05. Dad got sick. Clammed up. The idea bloomed unbidden. A road trip west, chasing closure. Let's find him, Alex urged. For your dad. For us. Travis hesitated. Then nodded. The spark of adventure. Long dormant. Flaring. Yeah, let's. They hit the highway at first light. I-70 unspooling like a promise. Wheat fields giving way to Rocky's tease. The truck's cab became sanctuary. Playlists of Dylan and Cash, pit stops for gas station burritos, hands intertwined over the gearshift. Travis read letters aloud at diners, Arthur's withdrawing laughs, Harlan's longing tears. They had what we do, he marveled. Against all odds. Nights in cheap motels blurred into memory. Neon buzzing outside, bodies entwining inside, whispers of I love you, finally unchained. Alex traced Travis's scars, appendix from '08, that jagged one from a bull riding dare, learning him anew. You're my compass, he murmured one dawn in a Colorado Springs Super 8. Travis's hair tousled on the pillow. And you're my north, Travis replied, pulling him closer. Frisco shimmered mirage-like under Sierra sun, Victorian charm masking bohemian undercurrents. The garage, Hale's Auto, faded sign swinging. Squatted on a side street, bays open to grease and grind. An old man in overalls wiped his brow, silver hair cropped military short, laugh lines etching a FaceTime hadn't dimmed. Arthur, Travis ventured, envelope clutched like talisman. The man froze, wrench dangling. Who wants to know? Travis Hale, Harlan's son. Arthur's eyes, piercing green, unchanged, widened, then softened. Little Trav? Hell, look at you. Grown into your daddy's boots. He engulfed Travis in a bear hug, clapping Alex on the back next. And who's this fine specimen? Alex Reed, Travis said, pride swelling. My partner. Arthur's grin split wide, no judgment, just joy. 'Bout time the Hales got honest. Come on, beers on me. The garage office was a time capsule. Faded POW flags, Jazz records stacked by a turntable, photos of Harlan pinned above the desk, foxhole shots, stateside reunions, a clandestine 70s snapshot in Golden Gate fog, hands brushing secret. Arthur poured IPAs from a mini fridge, settling into a creaky chair. Your dad was my everything. Saved my hide in Korea, stole my heart after. We tried the straight life. Me in the bay, him in that godforsaken flatland. Letters kept us sane. Travis leaned forward. Why'd they stop? Arthur's gaze drifted. He got sick. Pride mostly. Didn't want me seeing him frail. Last one came postmarked from hospice. Forgive me for the silence. Love. See you on the other side. That was '07. Silence fell heavy as fog. Alex squeezed Travis's knee under the desk. Anchor in the storm. You too. Arthur eyed them, sly. Reminds me of us. Young, dumb, full of fire. Don't waste it hiding. We won't, Travis vowed, voice steady. They stayed 3 days, Arthur's guest room overlooking the bay, clam chowder suppers, stories till midnight. Arthur regaled with tales. Harlan's off-key Sinatra, their 80s road trip in a vet, the ache of what-ifs. Love like that? It's oxygen. Starve it, you wither. On the pier one sunset, Travis scattered reprinted letter ashes into the waves. Release ritual, Arthur's idea. To Dad. He toasted with a flask of bourbon. And Arthur, for the love that outlasted. Alex wrapped arms around him from behind, chin on shoulder. To us. Driving east, the Sierras shrinking in the rear view, elation hummed. But home loomed, Elmwood's jaws waiting. Lorraine's texts piled up. Where are you? Buck stirring shit at the co-op. Come home, son. Travis silenced his phone. We'll face it. Together. Yet betrayal brewed in the heartland. Buck, nursing grudges and whiskey, had rifled the attic lockbox. Letters unearthed, photos copied, whispers weaponized. By Nebraska border, Travis's burner buzzed. A grainy scan from an anonymous number, Harlan and Arthur midkiss. Timestamped 68. Caption, family secret out. Resign or ruin. Travis's face drained, knuckles white on the wheel. Buck, the bastard sold us out. To the bank, the church, everyone. Alex's stomach nodded. We fight. But fight how? The farm's mortgage hung by threads of reputation. One scandal, and foreclosure loomed. Lorraine's call crackled through. Travis, they're coming for the land. Your father's shame. It's everywhere. The prodigal return was apocalypse. Elmwood aflame with flyers, hail legacy. Lies and lovers, tacked to telephone poles, emailed to the deaconry. Neighbors who'd shared potlucks now averted eyes. The co-op denied credit. Buck smirked from his F-150, shotgun rack gleaming threat. Lorraine met them at the door, haggard, a bottle of gin half empty on the sideboard. It's over. Banks calling the note. Church excommunicated your father posthumously. Blasphemy, they say. Travis collapsed into a chair, the weight crushing. All because of love? Alex paced, fury boiling. This town's poison. Sell it. Start over. But Travis shook his head, eyes distant. This is Dad's blood. Arthur's gift. In a way, truth's price. Night fell, storm clouds gathering. They retreated to the barn, seeking solace in familiar shadows. But as thunder rolled, headlights pierced the gloom. Buck's truck, idling ominous. A figure emerged, not Buck, but Emily, veil discarded, eyes red-rimmed. I know everything, she said, voice steady. The letters, Arthur, and you too. She thrust a folder at Travis. Divorce papers and signed, but laced with leverage. Her family's law firm ties to the bank. A quiet word could save the farm. What's the catch? Travis asked warily. Leave him. She nodded at Alex. Marry me for real this time. Play the part. For the Hales. Betrayal's blade twisted deep. Emily, the sweet southern belle, unmasked as pragmatist. Her love a transaction after all. Emily stood in the barn's lantern glow, folder extended like a serpent's apple. Her silk blouse rumpled from the drive, hair escaping its chignon in defiant curls. The storm outside battered the tin roof, rain sheeting like tears unshed. But her posture was unyielding, shoulders squared, chin lifted, the debutante armor she'd worn since sorority rush. It's not betrayal, Travis. It's survival. My daddy's firm handles half the loans in 3 counties. One call and the bank's off your back. The flyers come down, the church forgets. We start fresh, no more ghosts. Travis didn't take the folder. It fluttered to the straw, pages scattering like confetti at a funeral. His laugh was hollow, echoing off the rafters. Fresh? With you playing house while I pine for him. He jerked a thumb at Alex, who stood frozen, pulse thundering in his ears. The air crackled, ozone sharp, mirroring the lightning forking the sky. Emily's gaze softened fractionally, flicking to Alex with something akin to pity. I cared for you, Alex. Invited you to holidays, covered for your late nights when Travis snuck out. But this, she gestured between them, inclusive and accusatory. It's a grenade in a china shop. Elmwood eats its own. I saw the looks at the engagement party, the whispers about your bachelor pad in Wichita. You're poison to him. Poison. Alex surged forward, voice a whip crack. I love him enough to risk everything. You're offering a cage with a view. His hands balled, nails biting palms. He'd always liked Emily, her quick wit over bridge tables, her grace at harvest dances. But this was calculation cloaked in compassion. Southern belle realpolitik. She didn't flinch. Love's a luxury, sugar. We've got legacies. Travis's farm feeds families. My name opens doors. Together we preserve it. Apart. She let the ellipsis hang, heavy as the mortgage statements piled on the kitchen table. Thunder boomed, shaking the walls, and Travis flinched, memories crashing. Dad's chemo chair creaks, Mom's rosary beads clicking through vigils. The farm wasn't just dirt. It was Harlan's sweat, his unspoken sacrifices, the only hale anchor in a sea of secrets. I can't, he said finally, voice cracking. Not anymore. I choose him. Emily's facade fractured then, a single tear tracking mascara black. Then you're fools. Both of you. She scooped the papers, heels clicking retreat into the deluge, taillights fading red through the veil. Silence descended, broken only by drip-drip from a leak. Alex reached for Travis, but he shrugged away, pacing like a caged bull. She's right, though, about the cost. Bank's foreclosing next week. Buck's got half the town baying for blood. Protect the children from the queers, like we're some plague. We leave, Alex insisted, grabbing his arm. Sell what we can, head west. Arthur's garage needs hands. Frisco's got space for 2 more dreamers. Travis whirled, eyes wild. And abandon everything? Dad's grave's out back. Alex, the oak we carved. This is home. Home's where you are, Alex countered, pulling him close despite resistance. Their kiss was desperate, salt-tanged, a bulwark against the flood. Travis yielded, hands fisting Alex's shirt, bodies pressing urgent. They tumbled to the blanket, rain's rhythm urging frenzy, fingers mapping scars, lips claiming territory, gasps swallowed in the gale. It was reclamation amid ruin, love's fierce rebuttal to loss. Afterward, spent and shivering, Travis traced Alex's collarbone. What if we lose it all? Then we build anew, humanely, like your dad wished. Dawn broke sullen, skies bruised purple. Lorraine waited in the kitchen, eyes puffy, a pot of Folgers brewing truce. Buck's at the bank now, pushing the auction. Church elders called. Want the land for a purity center. Irony, huh? Travis poured coffee, black as resolve. We're fighting, Ma. Legally. Maybe a lawyer in Wichita. She slid a key across the formica. Arthur's. From the letters. Harlan's old service buddy mentioned a safety deposit box in Topeka. Might be something deeds cash. He hinted before he passed. Hope flickered, fragile. They drove to Topeka under clearing skies, the Flint Hills rolling emerald waves, radio scanning static for signal. The bank vault yielded a shoebox. Yellow documents, a stack of hundreds in rubber bands, Harlan's rainy day, skimmed from crop yields, hidden from IRS eyes, and a deed marginal acreage, unencumbered, enough to seed a new start. Jackpot, Alex breathed, fanning bills. Travis pocketed the deed, grin tentative. Co-op land, sustainable farm, no more monocrops, community shares. Dad would have hated it, or loved it. Redemption. Back in Elmwood, confrontation brewed. Buck rallied the town hall. Standing room only, farmers and Carhartts, wives clutching purses like shields. Mayor Wilkins, paunchy and poll-conscious, banged gavel. Order. The hail foreclosure. Bids open at dawn. Travis stood, Alex at his elbow, Lorraine flanking like a general. Hold up. We're disputing. Proof of payments, hidden assets. And this town? Y'all profited from my family's sweat. Now you lynch us for love. Murmurs rippled. Buck sneered from the front. Love? The sodomy. Boy. Bible says love thy neighbor. Lorraine interrupted, voice steel. Heads turned. The deaconess. Risen. Harlan was no saint, but he built this community. Travis is his blood. Judge him, you judge us all. A woman in the back. Mrs. Ortega, the school librarian who'd slipped Alex extra books, stood. My nephew's gay, lives in Lawrence. Fine man. Let him be. Dissent snowballed. Nods, whispers. A slow clap from the feed store owner. Buck blustered. But the tide turned. Mayor adjourning for review. Outside, under sycamores shedding gold, Travis hugged his mother fierce. Thanks, Ma. She patted his back, tears gleaming. For Harlan. And you. But victory soured swift. That night, fire trucks wailed. Back 40 ablaze. Buck's truck fleeing the scene, taillights ghosts. Arson? Deliberate. Irrigation lines slashed. Crops torched to ash. The farm's heart gutted. Travis surveyed the smolder at midnight, face soot-streaked. Alex's arm around his waist. It's gone. Not all, Alex murmured. We've got the deed. Each other. Lorraine joined, shotgun under arm. Call the sheriff. Buck pays. Sheriff's report filed at dawn, but justice lagged. Buck lawyered up. Emily's firm whispering delays. Weeks blurred. Insurance claims denied. Suspicious. Community shuns deepening. Travis poured concrete for the co-op foundation on the spared acres. Alex designing logos on a card table in the kitchen. Vibrant greens. Tagline roots reclaimed. Intimacy anchored them. Slow dances in the empty living room to Coltrane on vinyl. Harlan's old record player wheezing soul. Travis's touches grew surer, exploring Alex with artist's eye. Freckles like constellations. The dip of his spine a valley to valley. You're my masterpiece, he'd whisper, love-making a liturgy of gratitude. Bodies hymns in the dark, yet doubt gnawed. One stormy eve, Travis vanished, truck gone. Note, need space. Love you. Alex paced the porch, rain soaking through, heart fracturing. Lorraine found him at the swimming hole, staring at eddies. He went to Frisco. Arthur called. Something about letters. Panic clawed. Betrayal redux? Emily's ghost? But Arthur's text pinged. Kids wrestling demons. Come. The drive west was purgatory, miles ticking accusations. Frisco welcomed with fog-shrouded hills. Arthur's garage a haven of oil and ozone. Travis waited on the stoop, hollow-eyed, a fresh letter in hand. Harlan's last, unsent. Arthur, if Travis reads this, live bold, son. The man who holds your heart? He's worth the world's wrath. I learned too late. Love, Dad. Travis crumpled into Alex's arms, sobs racking. Thought I was failing him, burning it all. You're saving it? Alex soothed, rocking him as rain pattered. Arthur watched from the door, flask extended. Hales are stubborn, like their daddies. They stayed a week, mending. Hikes in Muir Woods, Arthur's jazz nights, confessions over Chipino. Travis emerged lighter, resolve forged. Co-ops our legacy. No more hiding. Eastbound, unity sealed. But Elmwood's maw widened. Foreclosure auction set. Buck indicted but out on bail, vowing final reckoning. Emily appeared at the farm. Uninvited. Folder renewed. Last chance. Marry me, Travis. Alex walks free. No charges for trespass at the wedding. Temptation flickered in Travis's eyes. Farm saved. Peace bought. Alex's chest caved. Take it. If it means... No. Travis tore the papers, scattering shreds to wind. You're my shocking secret. The best one. Emily left defeated, but her parting shot lingered. You'll regret it. Climax crested at the auction, crowd swelling, tents erected on the front 40. Travis mounted the makeshift stage, megaphone in hand, Alex beside, Lorraine vigilant. This land's not for sale, not to vultures. We're turning it co-op. Open to all, queer or straight, sinner or saint. Join us or watch from afar. Boos from Buck's posse, cheers from allies. Bids faltered as supporters pledged shares. Ortega with library funds, the feed owner with equipment. Bank rep sweated, gavel hovering. Then Buck lunged, pistol drawn from his jacket. Enough fairy tales. Barrel glinting malevolent. Time fractured. Alex shoved Travis aside. The shot cracking like thunder's echo. Pain bloomed hot in his shoulder, world tilting red. He crumpled, gravel-biting knees. Travis's scream primal, Alex! Chaos erupted. Sheriff tackling Buck. Crowd surging. Lorraine's shotgun barking warning skyward. Medevac word in from Hutchinson. Alex airlifted. Travis clinging to the chopper skids till pried away. Hospital haze. Beeps, morphine drip, Travis's face hovering. Anguished, tear-streaked. You idiot. Took the bullet for me. Worth it? Alex slurred, hand finding his. Love's bulletproof. Surgery patched him. Clean through, no vitals hit, but recovery stretched weeks. Wichita General, Travis smuggling contraband chili, reading Arthur's letters aloud to ward nightmares. Community shifted. Buck jailed for attempted murder, trial exposing his jealousies. Stole letters for blackmail, torched fields for inheritance grab. Emily testified against him, redemption quiet. The co-op bloomed spring 26. First shares planted. Rainbow flags subtle on fence posts. Auction averted. Bank settled with Harlan's stash. Lorraine softened, baking pies for the boys. Even attending PFLAG meetings in secret. One June Eve under the oak. Initials faded but eternal. Travis knelt, not in defeat but devotion. Box carved from barn wood held 2 rings, simple silver. Marry me, Alex Reed. Not for show. For us. Tears blurred the band sliding home. Yes. God, yes. Vows exchanged at the swimming hole, Arthur officiating via Zoom from Frisco, Lorraine toasting with gin. No crowds, just river song and heartbeats synced. Summer unfurled lazy over the co-op fields. Cornstalks whispering conspiracies to the wind. The air thick with loamy promise and the faint tang of diesel from the new irrigation rig. Alex's shoulder ached phantom under the sling's ghost. A dull throb like a lover's grudge. But physical therapy sessions in Wichita. Twice weekly, Travis driving with cooler-packed PB and JS, were turning pain to power. He sketched logos for the co-op one-handed on his laptop. Vibrant icons of interlocking roots in earth tones. Tagline grown with heart winking at their truth. Subtle queer coding, he'd quip, earning Travis's eye roll and kiss. The farm? No, the co-op now, buzzed rebirth. Mrs. Ortega's after-school volunteers weeding rows. The feed store owner's son tilling with a refurbished John Deere. Even a few repentant holdouts pitching in for equity shares. Lorraine orchestrated it all from the farmhouse kitchen. Her curlers swapped for a clipboard, voice booming orders like a drill sergeant at a quilting bee. That plot's for heirlooms, not your hybrid hogwash Earl. She'd bark. But her eyes twinkled, the gin bottle gathering dust on a high shelf. Travis thrived in the dirt, sleeves rolled to elbows, sun bronzing his forearms as he mapped crop rotations on graph paper spread across the tailgate. The quarterback's precision translated seamless to sustainable yields. Cover crops for soil health. Solar panels glinting on the barn roof like defiant jewels. Evenings, He'd collapse beside Alex on the porch swing, boots dangling, a cold core's condensation kissing his palm. "Arthur called today," he'd say, voice warm as the fireflies winking in the gloaming. "Says the garage is booming, queer mechanics network. Half his crew from the Castro. Wants us for Pride next month." Alex leaned into him, head on shoulder, inhaling the musk of earth and aftershave. "Road trip? Hell yes. But only if you pack the good playlist. No more of your twangy bro country." Travis chuckled, low and rumbling, fingers interlacing with Alex's scarred ones. "Deal. Long as you quit hogging the auxiliary." Their laughter mingled with cricket chorus, easy as breathing, but beneath it hummed the undercurrent, the trial's shadow, Elmwood's watchful eyes, the slow mending of fractures. Buck's arraignment had been a circus. County courthouse packed, reporters from the Wichita Eagle sniffing scandal like blood in the water. He'd pleaded not guilty, eyes bulging frog-like from the defense table, his lawyer spinning yarns of provocation and family honor. Emily's testimony cracked the facade, cool under cross, detailing how Buck had coerced her into the leverage scheme, dangling farm alliances like carrots. "I was scared," she'd admitted, voice steady but eyes downcast. "For all of us." The DA painted him predator. Letters pilfered for profit, fire set for sabotage, gun drawn in desperation. Guilty on all counts: arson, attempted murder, extortion. Sentenced to 25, no parole. Travis had gripped Alex's hand, white-knuckled through it, whispering justice like mantra. But victory tasted bittersweet. Buck was blood, after all. Cousin who'd taught him to fish, shared 4th of July fireworks. "He chose hate," Travis murmured post-verdict, "over diner pie at the Blue Moon. Like Dad almost did." Lorraine, surprisingly, visited Buck in lockup, emerged tight-lipped, but with a softened edge. "Boy's broken," she confided one night, passing Alex a slice of her famous chess pie. "Blames the devil, but it's fear, like his daddy and mine before." Her own confession slipped then, gin loosened. Harlan's infidelities whispered in the 70s. Not with women, but that California ghost. She'd buried it, played wife to a half-man. But seeing Travis choose truth freed me too. For grandbabies, adopted, maybe. Or just you two happy. Alex hugged her awkward, pie plate between. "Your family, Mrs. H. Call me Lore, fool." She swatted his good arm, but lingered, the embrace a bridge over chasms. Yet scars itched. Alex's nightmares replayed the shot. Muzzle flash, Travis's scream. Waking sweat-soaked, shoulder-screaming solidarity. Therapy unpacked it. Wichita shrink, Dr. Patel, with her no-nonsense bob and chai-scented office. "PTSD's a thief," she'd say, guiding breathwork. "Steals presence. Reclaim it with him." Dates ensued. Candlelit picnics in the North Pasture, Travis slow-dancing Alex under string lights strung from the oak, their rings catching firefly glow. Lovemaking evolved tender. Travis mapping the bullet's pucker with lips, whispering litanies. "My hero, my heart." One August scorcher, the co-op harvest kicked off. Sweet corn roasted at communal bonfire, fiddles scraping bluegrass under a harvest moon. Neighbors mingled wary at first. Old deacons nursing beers, eyeing the pride pin on Alex's flannel. But as plates emptied and stories flowed, walls crumbled. Mayor Wilkins clapped Travis's back. "Fine work, son. Might run for council myself if you'll have me." Even Emily appeared, tentative at the fringe, sundress fluttering. No words exchanged, just a nod, truce, perhaps, and she slipped away, ghost of what-ifs. Deeper healing came via Arthur's package. FedEx crate, postmarked Frisco, stuffed with relics. Harlan's dog tags on a leather thong, Arthur's '68 photo album. Candid shots of Bay escapades. 2 men picnicking on Alcatraz ruins, hands touching surreptitious. A letter enclosed, Arthur's scrawl looping nostalgic. "Boys," enclosed, "pieces of us. Harland want you wearing his steel, carrying our snapshots. Love ain't linear. It's loops, overlaps, the stories we tell to fill silences. You too?" You're the sequel we dreamed. Visit soon. Garage Bay's got your names on it. Boldly, Arthur. Travis fastened the tags around his neck, metal cool against chest hair. Feels right. They poured the album till dawn, tracing timelines. Harlan's crew cut softening to sideburns. Arthur's aviators swapped for wire rims. Laughing at 80s mustaches, tearing at unsent postcards. Fuel for the fire, Alex said, tucking a photo in his wallet. Harlan and Arthur, arms slung, Golden Gate blurred backdrop. Proof we're not alone. Fall painted the plains amber. Co-op shares selling brisk. Wichita foodies craving queer-grown quinoa. Ironic bumper stickers joked. Travis's confidence swelled. He keynote a sustainable AG conference in Lawrence. Alex's graphics projected behind, voice steady. My family farmed lies for generations. We're planting truths now, nourishing soil, souls, community. Q&A turned personal. A kid in the back, rainbow bracelet glinting, asked, "How'd you come out?" Travis glanced at Alex, on stage beside. Best friend crashed my wedding. Rest is history, and herstory ours. Applause thundered, but backstage vulnerability crashed. Travis sagged against green room wall, drained. Scary as hell. Alex pulled him into a utility closet. Ironic echo of high school makeouts. Kissing doubt away. You slayed cowboy. Hands wandered urgent. Closet's confines amplifying gasps. Release a quiet roar amid the roar. Winter whispered in with first frost. Co-op dormant but dreams abloom. They renovated the farmhouse attic, loft studio for Alex's designs, skylight framing stars. Painting walls sky blue, Travis on ladder, Alex below with brush, splatters turning flirt to foreplay. Paint-smeared kisses, bodies tumbling to drop cloths, laughter echoing rafters. But undercurrents stirred. Anonymous letters arrived, typed venom. Sodom's farm. God's wrath coming. Lorraine burned them in the sink, but Travis found one slipped under windshield. Photo of them at the swimming hole. Rings glinting, caption repent or burn. Fear coiled. Buck's cell block fan club? Alex speculated, but Travis shook head. Worse. Inside job. Paranoia seated. Locked gates, motion lights, shotguns cleaned nightly. Climax brewed slow, then furious. January blizzard blanketed Elmwood white. Co-op meeting snowed in virtual via Zoom. Arthur's face pixelated from Frisco. Weather shit your way? Come west. Pride planning parties tomorrow. Temptation tugged, but duty anchored. Post-call, Travis checked perimeter, boots crunching crust. Headlights pierced the flurry. Unmarked SUV, sliding to halt. Two figures emerged. Black coats, faces obscured. Hail! Travis gripped fence post, snow-numbing fingers. Who's asking? Concerned citizens. One stepped forward, ski mask low, voice muffled, but accent pure county. Your lifestyle. Scare the livestock. Time to sell out. Threat hung, explicit. Travis backed toward house, yelling for Alex. Lights flared porch, Lorraine's silhouette shotgun ready. Intruders scattered, SUV fishtailing into night. Sheriff logged it vandalism attempt. But no prints, no plates. Community fractured anew. Whispers at the IGA. Pews emptying at Lorraine's church. Even allies wavered. Feed store owner cited family pressures. Isolation clawed. Travis withdrew, nights pacing, days overworking fields. Alex confronted one sleet-lashed Eve, blocking the kitchen door. Talk to me. This silence, it's killing us. Travis deflated, sliding to linoleum. What if they're right? We're the curse. Dad's sins, mine now. Co-op fails. Everyone's hurt. Alex knelt, cupping face rough stubbled. We're the cure. Human love, messy and real. He kissed him fierce, dragging to bedroom. Slow undress by candlelight, bodies worshipful. Travis yielded, walls crumbling in moans. Climax a catharsis. I need you. Always. Renewed, they rallied town hall petition for hate-free Elmwood. Signatures mounting. Arthur wired funds. Seed money, pun intended, for security cams. Emily emailed Olive Branch, heard about the threats. My firm's pro bono, anti-hate clause in co-op charter? Acceptance tentative but bridge built. Spring equinox brought thaw literal and lit. Co-op planting festival. Seeds in soil, bands jamming folk punk. Locals picnicking on checkered blankets. Travis emceed. Alex DJing from a hay bale booth. Playlist pulsing with Indigo Girls and Jason Isbell. As sun dipped, Travis pulled him on stage for toast. To roots old and new. To love that endures blizzards. Crowd cheered, but edge lingered. Shadowy figures at Treeline, gone when scanned. That night, betrayal's final twist. Lorraine's confession over pot roast. The letters? Kept one back. Harlan's will, codicil, hidden. Leaves the core farm to Arthur. Contingent on Travis living true. Shock rippled. Why hide? Fear. Thought it'd break you. She slid envelope, sealed. Read it. Then decide. Travis's hands shook opening it. Harlan's scrawl, dated Cancer's cusp. Son, if you're reading, I'm dust. The land's yours, but the heart? Arthur's. He funded the first silo, loved me silent. Claim it, sell, share, but live free. No more closets. Proud, Dad. Tears splashed ink. He knew. All along. Alex hugged him, Lorraine joining, trio unbreakable. Arthur gets a call tomorrow. Resolution dawned. Co-op expanded. Arthur partner emeritus. Virtual board meetings. Garage profits seating scholarships for queer youth. Threats ebbed. Perpetrators outed as Buck's old crew. Shamed into silence. Summer Pride westbound. Frisco streets rainbow-drenched. Travis and Alex marching arm in arm. Harlan's tags bouncing chest. Arthur enveloped them in hugs. Tears geriatric. Your dad's smiling, boys. Festival frenzy. Floats blaring Madonna. Drag queens lip-syncing Gaga. Bodies grinding euphoric. Travis pulled Alex into alley shadows. Kiss devouring. Love you, wild man. Hands bold under tees. Release against brick. City pulsed their heartbeat. Return east. Fortified. Elmwood softened seasonal. Harvest dance. Alex's murals on barn walls. Vines entwining. Symbols subtle. 2 trees. Roots meshed. One harvest moon. Under the oak. Travis proposed redux. Not knee, but swing. Elope? Courthouse. Just us and lore. Alex grinned. Vegas, baby. Elvis officiant. Wedding whirlwind. Neon chapel. Rings renewed. Arthur toasting via FaceTime with bourbon. Honeymoon. The swimming hole. Tent pitched. Stars canopy. Life looped. Co-op thriving. Designs freelance to NYC mags. Arthur visiting fall 26. White hair wind-tossed. Stories endless. Lorraine doted. Grandma. To stray co-op kittens. Yet humanism's core. Not perfection, but perseverance. Alex's shoulder scar faded, but twinged rainy days. Reminder of cost, choice. Travis's doubts surface sparse. Nights staring ceiling, whispering, what if? Met with Alex's hand, steady. In quiet moments, they'd read Harlan's letters anew, Arthur's voice echoing. Love's the loop. Years wove like vines on the co-op trellis, seasons cycling inexorable. Winters crisp with wood smoke wisdom. Summers sultry with sweat-sheened labors. Falls aflame with gratitude feasts. Springs a symphony of green shoots piercing soil's surrender. The farm, rechristened Halereed Commons, stood sentinel on Elmwood's edge. Silos silvered by time. Fields a patchwork quilt of organics. Kale for city CSAs. Sunflowers nodding to bees. A lavender labyrinth drawing tourists with lavender lips and Polaroids. Revenue stabilized, then soared grants from Queer AG Foundations, features in Grit magazine. From closet to corn. A gay couple's radical roots. Alex's scar tissue softened to silver thread. A constellation point he inked with Travis' one boozy anniversary. Tiny oak leaf, initials entwined. His design career burgeoned, Wichita firm partner, remote mostly, laptop open on the kitchen island amid Lorraine's sourdough starters. You're wasting talent on radishes. She'd tease. but beam at client calls praising authentic Americana vibe. Travis captained the commons with quiet command. Board meetings in the barn, now conference converted. Hayloft yoga studio. Voice gravel honeyed. Droughts biting, but our pollinator grants cover bees. Vote. Arthur's seat, rotating proxy. A Frisco Agritech was kid, kept legacy live. Visits annual. Arthur shuffling slower. Cane carved from bay driftwood, but eyes sparking tails. Harlan's 72 Chevy Hall across Nevada. Dodging sandstorms for a Reno rendezvous. Lorraine evolved matriarch. Silver-streaked bun, overalls over muumuus, PFLAG chapter president. Her sermons at the Progressive Methodist spin-off laced with fire. Jesus flipped tables on hypocrites. Time we did same for hate. She'd adopted the co-op's orphaned border collie, named him Harlan Jr., who herded volunteers with yips and winks. Their love matured vintage. No longer frantic dam break, but river steady, mornings tangled in flannel sheets, coffee breath kisses. Afternoons stolen in the lavender, hands dusty with blooms, bodies reclining on quilts to cloud watch. Intimacy deepened exploratory. Travis's fascination with Alex's pencils, sketching nudes by lamplight. Poses playful, then profound, erasing lines to trace skin. My muse, he'd murmur, entering slow. Rhythms synced to heartbeat drums. Alex reciprocated with playlists, curated for moods. Tender Bon Iver for rainy fucks, fiery hosier for harvest heat. Conflicts crested gentle now. Travis's wanderlust flares. Frisco full-time? Met with Alex's anchor. Here with you. Or Alex's city itch. Gallery show in KC. Eased by Travis's roadie. Truck packed. Gallery wine shared. After-party in a French bistro booth. Fingers laced under tablecloth. The shocking secrets ripples lingered. Humanistic lessons etched. Elmwood's arc bent slow. First pride flag at the IGA. Subtle. Rainbow wheat sheaf. School assembly on family diversity. Penned by Alex's murals. But scars suppurated sporadic. Vandalism tags. Fags. Scrawled on silos. Scrubbed communal. A co-op member's kid bullied. Travis coaching Little League to counter. Hates Hydra. He'd sigh but add. We outlast. Arthur's decline shadowed 29. Prostate stubborn. Chemo cycles. They flew west biannual. Travis holding gnarled hand. Alex curating photo walls in the hospice room. Harlan's grin eternal. You boys. Sequel perfected. Arthur rasped one fogged dawn. Oxygen mask fogging. Tell Harlan. I waited. He slipped quiet that night. Bay lapping elegy. Funeral pierside. Harlan's tags scattered with Arthur's ashes. Waves claiming loop's end. Travis wept open. Alex's shoulder wet. Lorraine reciting psalms remixed. Yeah. Though I walk valleys of secrets, love restores. Back east, grief germinated growth. Arthur Hale Scholarship, funding rural queer artists. First recipient, a trans kid from Dodge City sketching queer cowboys. Travis endowed it with garage proceeds sold post-Arthur. Betrayals echo faded, but Emily resurfaced 30, email crisp. Congrats on the expansion. My firm's merging with a green initiative. Pro bono for your water rights case? Meet up at the Blue Moon. Her laugh lines deepened. Engagement ring swapped for solitaire career band. I was wrong, she admitted over pie. Love's not ledger. Found mine in boardrooms. Truce toasted. Her firm clinching aquifer protections against agribusiness. Climax revisited soft. 31 twister season. Funnel ripping north 40. Barns splintered. Fields furrowed raw. Dawn assessment. Travis surveying wreckage. Alex cataloging losses. Lorraine rallying FEMA forms. Community converged unbidden. Neighbors hauling hammers. Potlucks provisioning. Even ex-detractors. Can't let the queers fold. Rebuild accelerated. Stronger. Wind turbines twisting defiant. Storm shelters communal. Amid rubble, renewal. Travis unearthed the old lockbox. Letters weathered but whole. Dad's time capsule. They hosted story nights. Bonfires, volunteers sharing truths. A farmer's closet coming out. A widow's affair unearthed. Humaneness woven. No judgment. just nods and esmores. Their 10th anniversary dawned golden. Courthouse vows renewed, Lorraine witness, Harlan Jr. ringbearer in bow tie. Reception co-op pavilion. String quartet, Alex's KU hookup, toasts cascading. Mayors on trailblazers, Ortega's on books and bravery. Dance floor pulsed. Travis twirling Alex, swing steps loose, laughter bubbling. Slow song shifted, Springsteen, Thunder Road. Travis pulling close, whisper hot. Still crashing weddings in my dreams. Alex grinned, nipping ear. Only yours, every time. Bedroom later. Candles guttering, bodies familiar terrain. Explored, adored. Travis entered reverent. Eyes locked. My shocking secret. Best plot twist. Climax crested waves. Afterglow tangled. Rings clinking like chimes. Decades end. Legacy bloomed. Co-op model franchised. Sister sites in Selena, Hayes, Hale Reid Network. Queer-led AG revolution. Alex's book deal. Roots and Revelations. A Gay Prairie Love. Illustrations his. Forward Arthur's ghostwritten from letters. Bestseller modest, but readings packed. Teary Q and As. Couples clasping hands. Travis aged handsome. Crow's feet from squinting fields. Laugh lines from bonfire yarns. Alex silvered temples, shoulder tattoo blooming vines. Lorraine, 70 crisp. Plotted memoirs. Flatland faith. From fire to freedom. One twilight, oak-shaded, they carved addendum. TNA plus AR 10 years. Travis's knife steady, Alex's hand guiding. Forever salute, he said. With detours, Travis added, kissing blade-nicked finger. Humanistic close. Not utopia, but earned grace. Elmwood, once tomb, now cradle. Secrets unearthed. Loves uncloseted. Community stitched from frayed threads. They walked fields hand in hand. Harlan's tags glinting. River distant murmur. In the end, the shocking family secret wasn't curse, but compass. Guiding two boys from sandbox oaths to sunset vows. Proving love's radical root. It endures, shocks, redeems.